Hi there. Welcome to Real Life on the Homestead in Ontario, and I'm Marie. Now, are you sick and tired of feeding and discarding your sourdough? You don't have to. I can't imagine why we have gotten into this habit. It's a North American thing and we need to stop. It's a waste. If you're using your discard to make pancakes or something that you enjoy, perfect. But to throw it in the garbage is a stupid, stupid waste. Let me tell you what I do. And I always do my research, and the background that I try to instill and learn is from the people like our pioneers, the Mennonites, the Amish, old European traditions. None of these people were wasteful. So why have we adopted this wasteful attitude? What I do with my sourdough is I feed it when I'm going to use it. Very few people bake on a daily basis where you need to feed your starter on a daily basis. Usually you bake once a week. Pioneers, the Amish, the Mennonites, they bake once a week. Europeans, they go from household to household at times and bake once a week at a different household. So this thing of feeding every day, got to stop this, people. We got to stop this. So what I did is I did feed my starter yesterday. So it is super, super active. And I'm going to show you two ways that you can deal with this. The first one, just grab a spoon here, is to refrigerate it. Put it to sleep until you need to use it. So I'm going to take some of my starter, and usually about a quarter cup. And to this, I'm going to mix in some all-purpose flour. And you're mixing it until it's very dry. And again, why we need to have percentages and measurements, don't know. Just add water and add flour as need be. Okay, so I am going to make this a very dry paste right now. I will show you this once I've mixed it up. I'm not into changing camera angles for videos. I just need to do what I need to do. As long as I try to share the information with you and get it across, that's what's important. So here we go. Perfect. There we have it. Very, very dry mix. To this, I'm going to sprinkle some more flour on top. End up with that. Pack it up, put it in the fridge, and you're done. When you want to use it, you take it out, you add water just to make it slimy, then add some flour and allow it to come alive overnight. You might have to do it 2 days to get that really good bubbly action, but you don't have to do it every day. That, super simple. I learned this from a German woman who said that her mother and grandmother always did it this way, and it makes sense. So that is step number one. Or not step number one, but option number one. The other option, and let me just get a spatula out for this, is you take your active, it needs to be active. So this is very bubbly, and just pour some on a cookie sheet. I line it, of course, with parchment paper because that makes sense. And spread it out as thin as you possibly can. I'm not going to use it all because I do want to keep some of this yeast to use. Myself some room, it would help. Okay, so we have a super thin layer, and then I grab another piece of parchment paper, place it on top so that it's actually wicking the moisture out. And I am just going to leave this either at room temperature or hide it in my oven. Don't turn on your oven. You don't want to apply heat. This is live yeast. Last time I did it, took about 4 days just sitting, dehydrating naturally. I'm going to move that out of the way. I'm just going to grab the one that is dehydrated. And this was just at room temperature, no heat applied. It is now dry. Take any food processor, a blender, whatever you like to use. I like to use my Vitamix with the dry container because it breaks these kind of things up really well. From the sound, you can tell that it's super dry, right? There we go. It's gonna be loud. Give me a minute. Okay, that was it. So now I have a container. Let me just grab a bowl so I can show you what I'm speaking of. It is a dry powder. Now, this is not dry active yeast. This is dry yeast. So to reactivate this, when you want this, and you can keep this in an airtight container forever. To reactivate it, what you do is, let me just grab any container, because I'm not going to actually do this right now. I'm just going to show you how it's done. Container, get 1 tablespoon of the yeast. A bit more. A bit of water. Mix it up until it's completely dissolved. See that? See how it dissolves? I'm using the spoon that I had touched the yeast, so it's a little clumpy, but see that? You just have a liquid. To this, add a bit of flour. Now we have a paste. Leave that overnight and it will start to activate. This will take about 3 days to get back to full force activation. But every day, add a little bit more water and a little bit more flour. And I'm saying like a teaspoon at a time, tablespoon at a time. So if you want to put your sourdough starter to sleep for a while because you're not in the mood to bake bread, maybe it's summertime and you're just not heating the house, put it to sleep, dry it up, save it, keep it in the fridge as I stated. This will last in the fridge this way for a good month. This powder, airtight container, easily 6 months to a year. See, I'm just showing you how this is now hydrated. Rehydrated is the word I was looking for. So this here, 3 days, it'll be as active as this one. So stop feeding and discarding and wasting. There's no purpose in it. There's alternatives. Let's look at our ancestors and people who do things traditionally and learn from them. They may not be highly educated, but they are highly skilled and we can learn from them. So if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and go ahead, live your best life.